after our drought breaker of a rain a couple of videos ago. How much do we actually get? There is 28 in there, but tip that out because we're actually supposed to be getting a little bit more tonight, and I don't think it's going to be heaps. Might be somewhere in the range of like 5 to 15 millimeters, depending where you are. But however, we'll take that if we can get it though. But it's definitely got the feel about it like it is going to rain. It's amazing how quick it's greened up though. Like this is a new grass here, so this does tend to respond fairly quickly, and there's also new grass in there, but it is growing, which is great at last. This is one of my maize paddocks that I drilled last week, and you can see it does look dry on top like this, but if you peel back, there is a bit of moisture underneath, but a little bit more would certainly top it up. Check this out though, this is an older pasture in here, probably does need re-drilling at some point, probably not going to do it this season. But if you come over the fence here and into this paddock, this is a new pasture which was put in this time last year, and just look at the difference between the two. Incredible. This one was grazed a little bit later, but only 2 days, didn't make that much of a difference. Look how lush it looks. There's quite a lot of chicory in here as well, which I don't mind. I did spot something over here before, hopefully I can find it again. Where did I ride? Or maybe this is it. Yeah, look at that. Might be a bit of a tomo. It's not a very deep one. It's actually not too bad, definitely had worse ones. We call them tomos, it's the Māori word for hole, and where you get a waitomo, that means water hole. So down south of here in sort of like the King Country, they're pretty renowned for it. There is actually a town called Waitomo, that's where the glowworm caves is. I'm sure if you're watching from New Zealand you'll know all about them. But it's just like underground pockets of water, I think, and the soil just sinks into them, and that's where you get these holes open up. Down there you can actually get quite big ones, and I know people have like lost sheep in them and stuff like that, so they do get pretty big, but yeah, you don't tend to get too many around here. In saying that though, I actually had one in the paddock down there, the maize paddock. It opened up after they'd harvested, or maybe it was during, because there was a bit of a dip in there. I'll have to go and have a look at that actually. Certainly looks promising, it's clouding over nicely. These paddocks down the bottom here, they're actually recovering real well too. I did say that they'd respond fairly quickly because they were pretty green. Up here it was sort of died off because it's more ashy, but down in the middle, oh, just a relief to be growing grass again. Oh, here it is. This is the start of it. That didn't actually last for too long, although it was nice and heavy. But it's actually the next morning now. I've just finished milking. I've also had a haircut. Look a bit different. Definitely feels a bit colder on top. I think all the rain's gone now. There's blue sky up there. We need Big Yellow to come out and put some warmth out. Start growing some grass before winter. That grass seed did certainly enjoy a bit of sun now. I woke up last night and it must have been like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was just absolutely bucketing down. Might have been a little bit of thunder too. It was sort of like sporadic showers that sort of passed through, or heavy showers that passed through. I don't think we got many, but it'd be interesting to see how much it got. I like to think it's around the 10 mil mark. 8 to 10 mils, certainly be great. Actually looks like there's quite a bit in there. Oh, that is about there, so that's about 19 mils, say 20. That is fantastic. That is a great result from that. Way more than I thought. Just been feeding out. I've fed out in here for the young cows, or the young herd. They're coming in here this afternoon. When I was feeding the PK, I was looking at this paddock and thinking it is absolutely stuffed. Like, this would be one of the worst paddocks we have. See, look in here, like there's just nothing. It's all just bare dirt. There's no grass there whatsoever. There's a couple of little sort of shoots coming away, but I might just re-drill this one. I think it is just at that point. There is a fence over here, which I'm probably going to take that out, pull it down. It's actually not too long, so it's not going to take me ages, and I'll probably re-drill that one too. I'm not too worried about where it's green down the bottom. It's just mainly this hillside sort of through here. like down in the sort of left hand corner, it's all right. So we'll leave that, the grass that's there, leave that. It's just re-drill anything that looks pretty patchy. It's just the casualty of having a drought. You do get pasture that this happens to. This has probably never been drilled, this stuff. Ideally what I was planning to do was to rip out this hedge behind me. There's quite a bit of hedge along here, so rip all that out and fence these paddocks, because at the moment they've got to go from here into that one, out into another one, up the race and around like that. So I was going to rip all this out and put the paddocks up that way, so the gate would be at the top there. Needs to be done, it's just that this isn't the year to do it. Hopefully we might look at it next year, because if we're going to re-fence, we've also got to put new water lines and stuff in, so it's just going to be a little bit too expensive. Just rang Bill's up and booked that in, so the drill should be here later in the week. It was actually quite good timing, because I texted Lee this morning to get a pallet of lime flour. He's dropped that off, and since he's coming out, I got him to chuck on a couple of bags of seed as well, so that's here ready for it. I've gone with the Reason again. That's what I put in all the maize paddocks. I did want to put in Legion, which is a different variety. It's just got a little bit later heading date, just to mix it up a little bit, but there wasn't any power packs in at the store. They had the seed, they just didn't have any bags with the clover mixed in with it, and I wanted to put in clover, so I've got 50 kilos there. If I put it on at 18 kilos, that gives me 2.7 hectares of undersowing. So that paddock's probably like 1, maybe just over 1. Looks like there's the odd shower floating around this afternoon. Looks like it's pouring down over there. I've just been back for lunch and I've calculated the hectares. So where I was, that it was 1.4 hectares, but I reckon you'd only drill about a hectare of it, if that. This one probably needs it as well, although this bottom half is probably alright. I'd leave that. It's just from about here up. There's a fence here which I will wind up, don't need that anymore. And I've fed a couple of days of maize silage to the young herd along here, so we'll just drill into that. And it is, again, just that scarce. It's not too bad in places, like this one's actually a lot better than that other paddock, but it is fairly burnt off as well. It's actually worse up the top there. Actually quite a bit of grass down the bottom there. Look, there's like new shoots coming away. More areas like that where just nothing's really going to grow except weeds. I just think it looks very patchy, and it couldn't hurt this one. It's about 0.6 of a hectare. Through here, see, not the worst, but could do with a touch up. That's about 1.7, so I've got a hectare of seed left, and I'd quite like to do this paddock here. It's not too bad, like up here where you can see, it's just all around the sort of hill there. It just gets really patchy, and down where the calves are. The next paddock's just as bad, but I'll have to leave that one this year. That'll be earmarked next year. I think I'll spray that one out completely and re-drill it then. Looking for that tomo that was here. Maybe it was here somewhere. There's a heap of corn stalks here. Sid did say he went over it a couple of times to try and smooth it out. So maybe that was where it was. On another note though, I can see heaps and heaps of clover coming up. That's germinated nicely, and then there is the ryegrass, which is germinating as well. Far out, it's away. That is exactly what I want to see. There's more shoots there. It got planted 6 days ago, exactly 6 days ago, and it's away. Yes, it's a good feel. It was a little bit hard to see then, but this is where Maddie must have filled up a little bit of spilt seed. You can see the grass there, and the clovers. You guys remember that big old maize stack that I had in here? Well, I've got into it big time. I think I opened it up about 10 days ago. Today's the 7th, and I'm pretty sure we got into it at about the 27th or 28th. And the start of it was about here, so there's always never that much on the face because it's sloping. But since then, we've taken a fair old chunk through it. I had envisaged saving some of this top, maybe a third of this for next season, but the way we are smoking through it at the moment, I'm not sure how much is going to be there. There's probably, well, another couple of weeks. It's certainly going to be up here a bit more, although the grass is growing now, so they're going to be getting more grass each day as we go. I'm also actually pretty happy cow condition wise. This girl here, she's empty, so she needs to go at some point. But most of them in here are looking pretty good, pretty happy. Going forward, Dad's actually away till Friday, and then I'm going away for a week holiday. And then when I get back, which will be in about 10 days or 14, 12 days, somewhere in there, I'm thinking I might dry the young herd off. I'm just getting to the point now where there's a few light ones in there. So I'm thinking I'll draft all the 2-year-olds out, probably dry them off and put all the 3-year-olds into here. So I'm milking 270 cows at the moment. If I can pull 50 out of there and put 50 in here, would make this mob about 220, and then just ease the heifers off until next season. Can ease up on the maize a little bit, but I also do have my heifers coming back on the 1st of May. I had originally, or not originally, but I had asked Merv earlier on if we could get them sent back sort of later in May, and that was all good with him up until we got this big drought and he's just ran out of feed, which is totally understandable. They're coming back on the 1st now, so I do need to start saving some feed for them. I have shut up a couple of paddocks. Well, I've shut up one paddock at the moment, might have to shut up a couple more, just conserving feed or put feed in front of them. And that's another reason I sort of want to dry some cows off. Usually I sort of like to milk into May, usually dry up about the 15th to 20th of May, but this year I don't think it's going to be quite that late. We'll see what it's like at the end of this month, and that'll sort of dictate how long we milk these girls for. But I feel like it's going to be, I don't know, first week of May, around the 10th maybe. We'll sort of look to dry everything off and yeah, start again next season. It's a shame you're empty though, isn't it? One of my best cows, a 10-year-old this cow. Been in calf every year since. But that'll pretty much wrap this video up, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and apart from that, see you next time.